Given this never-ending support that we have given Europe over 80 years, now for the first time, we are asking for your help. We are saying, listen, Europe, we need Greenland. It is in our hemisphere. And Russia, a threat that you have become very familiar with, you've been lecturing us how serious of a threat Russia is. Well, listen, Europe, we are now worried that not only Russia, but also China are interested in building out a presence on Greenland, as we have seen in Venezuela and off the coast of Argentina. And now they're doing in Canada, all throughout Latin America. So we have a concern for our own national security, for our own continental security, for our own hemispheric security. So we need this from you, and we're willing to buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Miller earlier today chimed in on this entire dynamic, giving his opinion here. Take a listen to this.
There were positive early talks. We don't want to get ahead of the process, but President Trump has been clear in saying that he wants the United States to control Greenland. That is the American position. And you would think that our allies in NATO, again, who we keep safe with our missile shield, our nuclear shield, with our special forces, our troops, our soldiers, our intelligence, our submarines. Again, American tax dollars are keeping Europe safe and free from every adversary in the world. You would think that they would want to support America in this matter. And I hope they do, Sean. And President Trump is finally standing up for America in the world. You see it in the Western Hemisphere. You see it all around the planet. It's America first, Sean.
I think we kind of need to remember the dynamic here. Once again, as I said, Europe quite literally would not exist if not for direct military involvement following the conclusion of World War II. What do you think would have happened? Okay, the Nazis have fallen. It's 1945. Hitler is dead. If America had not conducted a longitudinal, maintained military presence in Western Europe, what do you think would have happened following World War II? Do you think Stalin would have stopped at the Berlin Wall? You think he would have cut Germany in half and said, all right, that's enough for me, and stopped? No. He would have marched millions of bloodthirsty communists across your entire continent. He would have conquered the entire damn continent. If not for America. America was the bulwark. This continent, these countries as they exist right now, literally would not even exist if not for us. We have spent, Americans, the American people, the American taxpayers have spent hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, keeping these nations alive. You're welcome. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1992, we kept NATO going. And by the way, NATO is a bulwark against Russia. NATO is strictly an anti-Russian entity. We had an agreement. If you are a member of NATO, you need to pay 2% of your annual GDP to the NATO defense budget. Go ahead and look it up. How many countries, how many NATO European member countries paid their 2% up until 2022? How many? 15%. 15% of the NATO member countries paid. Almost all of them were delinquent. America, for 30 years after the fall of the Soviets, subsidized your entire continental defense for another 30 years. Okay, now we're in modern day. Russia invades Ukraine. Still, not even that acted as a not for over half of the European NATO member countries to bump that number up to 2%. These people, not the people. I love Europeans. The European leadership is a joke. They are delinquent. Seriously. They have gotten so used to the free ride that the American taxpayers have provided them. Now it's time to pay up. Seriously. Here's a good question. What has America gotten out of NATO? I think you'd be hard-pressed to find an answer. We all know what Europe has gotten out of NATO. We all know what the European countries have gotten out of American global hegemony. We all know what Europe, the European NATO member countries, have gotten out of the hundreds of billions of dollars that the United States spends to maintain European continental defense. We all know what you have gotten out of it. What exactly have we gotten out of it? Because this seems like a little bit of a disproportionate, lopsided relationship, to say the least. It seems like we've got some takers and not a lot of givers. That seems to be the dynamic here. We hear from Europe that, oh, America needs to be super obsessed with maintaining and protecting and securing European continental security, European hemispheric security. But the second America steps up and said, hey, Europe, we need your help now to protect Western hemispheric security, American national security. The second we make a basic request of Europe, hey, listen, we're going to need Greenland. Hey, remember the trillions of dollars we have spent protecting you? Well, now we need Greenland. And by the way, we are even offering to buy it. We're trying to buy it. We're not even trying to conquer it. We're talking about purchasing it. The figure is $600 billion right now. So we're not even threatening to steal it. We're threatening to buy it. And still, then the Europeans, the first time in 80 years, the tables have been turned that we need something from Europe. They say, no, we know that you have kept us alive and subsidized our existence for 75 years following World War II, 80 years, and spent trillions of dollars and thousands of American lives. But no, we're not going to help you this one time. The first time you actually ask for help, no, we're not going to do it. Stephen Miller goes on to say,
Greenland is essential for America's national security. The new domain of international competition is going to be polar competition. That is where more and more resources are being spent by our nation's adversaries and rivals, is the ability to control movement, navigation, lanes of travel in the polar and Arctic regions. Greenland is 25% larger than Alaska. Greenland is the size of 1/4 of the continental United States. With respect to Denmark, Denmark is a tiny country with a tiny economy and a tiny military. They cannot defend Greenland. They cannot control the territory of Greenland. Under every understanding of law that has existed about territorial control for 500 years, to control a territory, you have to be able to defend a territory, improve a territory, inhabit a territory. Denmark has failed on every single one of these tests. So they want us to spend hundreds of billions of dollars defending a territory for them that is 25% bigger than Alaska at 100% American expense. But they say, while we do this, it belongs 100% to Denmark. It's a raw deal. It's an unfair deal. And most importantly, it's unfair to the American taxpayer, who have subsidized all of Europe's defense for generations now. American dollars, American treasure, American blood, American ingenuity is what keeps Europe safe and the free world safe. And Donald Trump's insisting that we be respected, Sean.
it is about that point. It is about this point to kind of level the playing field here. Really, I'm just kind of floored, honestly. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I'm kind of floored at the hypocrisy coming from these European leaders. Perhaps not the European people. I love the European people, but the European leadership structure. It really is astounding. For 4 years, we have been lectured by various European leaders how serious of a threat Russia is to European continental security. Russia must be stopped. Putin will stop at nothing to conquer all of Europe. He might even want to conquer the entire world. America, you need to help us. And we have. And we have sent you hundreds of billions of dollars, advanced weaponry, by the way, that Europe could never manufacture on their own. This is proprietary American advanced weaponry. Drones, missiles, missile interceptors, you name it. We have really stretched ourselves out on a limb to keep you people safe from the looming Russian threat, as you have expressed to us. And by the way, we are a country that is $38 trillion in debt. Despite being $38 trillion in debt, the United States has stepped up for the last 4 years and helped you defend your continental security, really, as we have done for 80 years. Once again, Europe would not exist without the United States. Once again, everyone in Europe would either be dead or speaking Russian and eating potatoes and cheap vodka right now, if not for the American taxpayer. So you're welcome. Maybe it's time for a little bit of appreciation and gratitude. But beyond that, given that dynamic, given this never-ending support that we have given Europe over 80 years, now for the first time, we are asking for your help. We are saying, listen, Europe, we need Greenland. It is in our hemisphere. And Russia, a threat that you have become very familiar with. You've been lecturing us how serious of a threat Russia is. Well, listen, Europe, we are now worried that not only Russia, but also China are interested in building out a presence on Greenland, as we have seen in Venezuela and off the coast of Argentina. And now they're doing in Canada, all throughout Latin America. So we have a concern for our own national security, for our own continental security, for our own hemispheric security. So we need this from you. And we're willing to buy it. We're willing to pay $600 billion, which is incredibly generous considering you literally cannot even defend it. You cannot even defend it. Like we said last time, there was a threat to Denmark in 1940. Denmark surrendered in less than 4 hours. And then America had to step in and lock down Greenland. Otherwise, it would have been tossed over to the Germans. We've already seen how this plays out. You could not defend it then. You cannot defend it now. And so we need it.